All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Complexity Casting presents Sound Blaster Heroes League Qualifier number 2. You might have forgotten about us. I don't know why, because we're an awesome event. But Qualifier number 2 taking place about 3 weeks after One Trick Pony won Qualifier number 1 over DrDz Jungle Devos. So we're going to get into this first round matchup. I'm your casting host, Beef, and joining me is Riser of the TT eSports Champion Squad. Riser, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, especially since I'm part of the champion squad.
You are.
Yeah,
you're
doing
the Kingslayers.
Two kind of European, maybe mid-level teams going at it, and pretty excited to see what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic game. Of course, the first rounds of this qualifier are best of one, so we're just going to be bringing you this one game right now for today. It's going to be iPel versus Druidz, Isot Pelit versus Druidz eSports, and both of these teams had some success in the last one. I believe they got to the round of 8. Neither team able to get into that final 2, though. And just a little bit of history of these teams. Druidz qualified into Gold, I do believe, and with Cycle 2, they were able to promote up to Diamond, where they finished 8th through 12th this past week. So not bad, not bad. And iPel, they qualified into Silver. They've made their way up to Gold, and I believe that they finished top 6 in Gold last time. So they've done pretty well for themselves as well. Lots of good players here, and I'm looking forward to a very good game. Riser, let's get on into it.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to go. The blind bans have already happened, and they've already done the lock phase. But Legion's going to go ahead and ban Fade and Wild Soul, and then Hellborn with the Ophelia and Keeper of the Forest. So Keeper of the Forest and Wild Soul, you know, definitely taken out. Definitely expected that as well. Fade and Ophelia, very powerful as well. Then the lock pool, we've got Tempest, Pebbles, Magnus, Parasite, Plague Rider, and Meraxes. So a little similar to the last game we casted, where the locking phase is dominated by those suicide/jungle heroes, and then also the initiators. So taking a page out of Swiddlemelon's book.
Yeah, they certainly are. Now, talking about the Swindlemelon's lock right there, was it your series yesterday where there were 6 junglers in the lock pool?
Yeah, I think so, and I think the next game they banned every single jungler.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Except for, I think there was one. There's Tempest.
You were playing Keeper of the Forest, and White was playing Tempest, right?
Yeah.
That was game number 1.
Game.
That was a crazy picking stage. Not going to be seeing that many junglers, but still a healthy amount with 2. The Tempest and the Parasite make it in. But you guys had such a good draft in that game.
Yeah, we had amazing team fight. It was unreal. Just
it
play
was
itself.
Unreal. Yeah, it was. So let's take a look at the bans here. Engineer, Draconis, Jeraziah, Bubbles, Tundra, and Warbeast. So eliminating another jungler there in the Warbeast. An Initiator with Tundra, able to provide all that map control. Some suicides there with the Bubbles. You could maybe consider Jeraziah a suicide as well. Support and a card carry. So another variety of things being banned. Anything to point out in the banning pool?
Nah, not really. I think you covered almost all of it. Pretty powerful heroes, you know, variety of roles, and you know, they just don't want to play you. So.
All right. Well, first pick coming out for iPel. They go with the carry that's been making a splash onto the scene lately, Moon Queen. Of course, her multi-strike ability, her ability to farm throughout the early game using moonbeams, doing harassment with those as well, has a decent stun on them. And then the early ability to farm with her multi-strike makes her just one of the stronger carries out there, and so popular recently.
Oh, you said it exactly. Oh, Myrmidon. But anyway, back to Moon Queen. Oh, God, that hero, I hate playing against it, because it's just... I hate to say it, but it's one of the easiest heroes playing the game, you know? It's got the R button, plays itself, you know? You gotta just click someone with the Q, and it stuns them, does like a gazillion damage, but yeah, it's just so powerful. You know, you don't even need... you need maybe a 2,000 gold item to farm so fast. You need that Whispering Helm, the lifesteal. That's all you need. And you kill stacks in the jungle so fast. Stack those Ancients with your creep from the Whispering Helm. You know, those aren't terribly easy to take out, but with a little bit of assistance, you can kill those fairly early. And, once she gets her farm with that Lunar Blessing and the multi-strike, the damage output is absurd, especially when you're pushing. Everybody's seen it. Moon Queen, when that first the tier 3 tower goes down and she's hitting the racks, she's killing her whole base. She's probably killing some heroes too, So yeah, Moon Queen, very popular, very powerful. And one more thing to note is that buff to her Q made her even better.
Yeah,
the stun is considerably better. It's huge. You can cast 3 of them at level 1 because the mana cost is so low. So it made her an excellent laner as well with that spam.
Yeah, I agree. Now going over to the other side, Aluna, standard pick. Myrmidon, not so standard. So possibly 2 supports right there, but Aluna, of course, has some semi-carry potential if you choose to run her that way. Myrmidon, a hero that we haven't seen as much since the tri-lane phase has died out, so we'll see how DrDz chooses to run them, perhaps without a jungler, as Myrmidon does do very well in those dual and tri-lanes. Of course, the great stun potential. On the other side, though, Empath, iPel picks that support up. Going to probably tag team that with Moon Queen. They lane so well together in the late game potential of the Empath, increasing the damage and attack speed, move speed of Moon Queen. They pair it up with a Pharaoh for initiation, and first pick, they grab a Meraxis.
Yeah, there's plenty of initiators, and they, I guess they don't. I think they believe they're going to get one of the junglers here almost no matter what, unless we're going to see a carry Luna. So decide to get their favorite initiator, then maybe grab whichever jungler is potentially left over. But yeah, Myrmidon, in the in-house league, which we were talking about earlier, you almost every single game you don't see junglers very often. You'll see tri-lanes, and yeah, Myrmidon, he was popular in tri-lanes for a reason. He was very powerful. So they're going to go ahead and go with Pebbles and Magnus to finish up. And, that makes me think maybe we're going to see 2 dual lanes, and then a Wretched Hag solo.
Yeah, I think that we might see an offensive tri-lane, for sure.
They could do that. Yeah, they could run the Pebbles solo maybe, and then Mag, Aluna, Myrmidon. It could be powerful. Or they could switch Mag and the Pebbles, or run the Mag.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there, but Aluna and Myrmidon both great at roaming. Magnus can even roam really well. I don't think they're going to be roaming the Magnus. They'll probably want to farm either him or Pebbles in the tri-lane and then another solo. Although, Aluna could be run as a solo as well and then have roaming Myrmidon Magnus. Who knows? There's a lot of potential. On the other side, though, iPel finishes out with Parasite, so they do pick up a jungler, and we're going to be getting into this, guys. The countdown has started, and Sound Blaster Heroes League Qualifier number 2 is underway. Druidz versus iPel, best of 1 series. Who's going to be moving on into the round of 16 for this? Will one of these teams be making it to the grand finals this Friday, fighting for a spot in the $40,000 playoff stages of this tournament, and fighting for, of course, some swag? The winner of it gets 5 of the Sound Blaster Z Series sound cards. And then the loser of that grand finals taking second place gets 5 Rage wireless headsets. So these teams do want to play pretty hard for those prizes.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about the drafts this game is I expect it to be an entertaining game because I think there's going to be a lot of roaming, a lot of fighting. Sometimes you get that jungler, the pseudo tri-lane and the jungler, and there's not a whole lot of action. You might see the jungler come out and push. Everyone's just kind of farming their carry. But this game, look at the Hellborn's lineup. They've got massive early game, huge, tons of damage, tons of stuns. And, kind of the same thing for the Legion. They've got that Parasite who, loves to be active early. He can't just kind of farm and grab like an early Codex and still be effective. But, you want to see him making a big impact on the game early on. So, hopefully with these heroes, we'll see an entertaining game.
I certainly think that we will. Like you said, the early game potential of this Druidz team is certainly there. Look at the amount of stuns they have. You got Stalagmites, Lava Surge, Emerald Lightning, the Magic Carp, the Weed Field. You've got slows there from your Wretched Hag with her Haunt, and the Waveform from Myrmidon. It's definitely an early game oriented team, but they have some late game potential there with Hag as well. And I'm really interested to see if Brodex Level 5 might be running as semi-carry in this game. I know that Zlintz normally does run as kind of like their off-lane carry, their off-lane farmer, or a suicide. So I know that that's what he does. And DrDz level 5 typically runs as the point hero in the middle lane. So it's kind of interesting. Of course, Fabelli is definitely their hard farmer, and DrDz likes to play a lot of those initiator type heroes and jungles as well. So really, DrDz, Zlintz, and DrDz, they really do kind of vary. Pew and Fabelli only with the real permanent positions there on Druidz.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with at least 4 members. I don't think I've played with DrDz in the in-house league, but I played with everyone else on Druidz. And usually when I'm playing Pew, yeah, it's playing that hard support. Fabelli will play, a solo hero like semi-carry, exactly like you said, the farmer maybe. And then, when I play with DrDz, he almost always plays support. I don't know if that's just what he prefers to play in the in-house league, or just for whatever reason that's what he likes to do. But he'll usually play support, second support. But yeah, he's playing Pebbles this game. Zlintz seems like he's played everything whenever I played with him. He'll play whatever hero you need him to. And so yeah, Magnus does have that hatchet, and so does Pebbles.
Yeah.
And they are roaming down to this bottom lane. I think they just want to get their ward place, try and catch someone. Same thing for iPel, by the way. 5 heroes top. And it doesn't look like anything's going to really come out of this for either team.
Teams are going to dodge each other intentionally, unintentionally, or whatever. Both teams going to be able to easily get the ward down. Druid's scouting with a bird, while iPel has chosen actually not to upgrade that bird right away.
Yeah, I mean, Parasite he can still jungle fine, but it's not a big deal. He's got extra gold from, so he can farm more effectively, and obviously it doesn't really matter that much because neither, the Helmut Core didn't really provide much information, so no big deal. But yeah, we see Pebbles heading to this middle lane, followed with Luna, who you said usually likes to play like the solo mid or initiator, but it looks like he's going to be playing support this game.
Yeah, I've seen him definitely playing something like a Magnus in that middle lane with an engineer supporting him, something like that as an initiator ganker, but looks to be supporting, might actually be roaming a little bit, but no, will most likely be supporting that Pebbles, so they're not going to go for the offensive tri-lane. In fact, they're going to go the 1-1-2, Myrmidon and Magnus in the bottom. If they're able to get good farm on Pebbles and the Magnus, then Druidz could start to skyrocket in terms of ganking ability very early on in this game.
Yeah, that would be very ideal for them, but it is going to be essentially 2 versus 3 in this bottom lane because Parasite is in the Legion jungle. He's just farming this hard camp right now, trying to get a quick level 3, then maybe trying to set something up. But it's going to be interesting to see how well Magnus and Myrmidon do in this bottom lane, if they're going to feel the pressure from Parasite or if they're just going to be just fine. It's interesting. You'll see a lot more teams are more likely to man up and go for that long lane, and they've got a pretty kind of slippery lane. It's not, these aren't the easiest heroes to gank.
Oh no.
Magnus with the steam back from stun, Myrmidon if he chooses to get his waveform early on. He's very powerful escape mechanism. Oh, Magnus takes some serious harass right
here. Yeah,
here.
Illusory Veil goes up. Nice weed field. Going to be able to protect his buddy. Magnus will be able to potion on up. And now, here's something else I want to point out on Druidz. Look at the placement on this Ward of Sight from Pew. I disagree with this placement unless you're going to be cutting down one of these trees, because right there, he walks right behind the pole camp with the Vagabond leader, and not going to have any clue that Parasite's coming in. Lava Surge onto 2 right there. Wheatfield not going to connect, but Magnus is in some trouble. The Essence Link goes up, is broken. There's the stun and auto attacks to finish him off. Tubi going to be able to pick up first blood right there. Magnus Zintz goes down.
Yeah, speaking of ward placement, yeah, I agree completely with you. That ward being down there isn't going to provide much vision for when Parasite's going to come. He's not going to just run, below, unless he just knows where the ward is.
Oh, as Pharaoh's taking some pressure up top, auto attacks go out, and he will go down. DrDz gets the last hit with a hasted Aluna. Sorry to interrupt you there, but taking.
No, I just wanted to point out that the non blocking ward was placed by Aluna. I think we saw it earlier. By that tombstone in the Hellborn jungle with, because they believe that Parasite would be up there, but since he's not, they're really suffering for it in this bottom lane, as you saw, easy bloodlust on Magnus. And, who got the bloodlust? Okay, Parasite did.
Oh, Magnus is going to go down again. No, is able to break that Essence Link with Lava Surge without actually taking it. So just like one of your favorite heroes, Bubbles, does kind of counter that Essence Link perhaps with the invulnerability.
Yeah, for sure. And I think iPel's done an excellent job of pressuring this Magnus, even when Parasite wasn't there. You know, using their spells effectively to really make him scared to even come up. You know, he doesn't even want to come close to this creep wave. So Moon Queen enjoying some free farm. And yeah, I think that ward that DrDz placed up there is, you know, they anticipated the Parasite up there, and he's not, and now they're kind of going to suffer for it a little.
They certainly are, as Parasite, level 3, or 3 minutes in, hits level 4, as they might turn it around onto Pebbles. There's the Leech. Quake is available. There's the Quake. The Axe is going to be connecting, and they have slowed down Pebbles significantly. DrDz takes the auto attacks, and Hosa picks up the kill in the middle lane.
Yeah, nicely done. This Parasite's doing so much work right now. And yeah, Meraxis has got really good farm now because of that. He was, you know, 1v2 for some time, but he's sitting on 240 GPM. I mean, it's exactly where you'd like to be when you're in kind of a suicide lane. But yeah, we did see Aluna, although it's happening, ran down the bottom lane. So now I think they just want to do a straight up tri-lane bottom because, you know, they felt like they were losing this lane so hard that they need some help. Magnus was thinking about a stun there, but didn't quite get in range. And Moon Queen will survive.
So, Riser, you were casting a lot of the Sound Blaster Qualifier #1 with me. Do you remember the game where iPel had Tempest and Tubi was landing the best Tempest ultimates and like just having the best Tempest play
versus
ever?
Mega Beaver's team?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
That was good. So, iPel, their leader, Tubi over here, doing a great job once again. With his jungle hero, still top farmer in the game with a kill, an assist, and looks like he might be coming in, walks right past a Ward of Revelation, gets a Mana Bird off, and now he might be in a little bit of trouble. Moonbeam onto Aluna, though, they're going to turn onto Aluna. Essence Link goes up, it's broken, the auto attacks are coming in, gonna be enough. Aluna goes down, a nice Weed Field, though, gonna be able to catch two, another Moonbeam onto Magnus, and Aluna's illusion is still in there, might want to bring that down. Tormented Soul actually going to clean that one up, and Moon Queen still looking for a kill. A Leech onto Myrmidon, just using the excess mana. As in the middle lane, Meraxis perhaps in some trouble, will be able to escape with a well-timed Quake.
Yeah, it was a nice combo by Pebbles doing a significant amount of damage. Meraxis has got those bottle charges, so till Pebbles is stunned back up, he'll be okay. But yeah, misplay by Aluna for sure. They're going to stun Moon Queen in this bottom lane. Weed Field comes out. Will it be enough? Yeah, they're going to kill him. Yep, last auto attack. So nice counter kill for Druidz. They really needed that because they were suffering pretty badly in the bottom lane. So yeah, misplay by Aluna. I think he should have manned up there. Parasite's level 5 when he came there. So yeah, Parasite's doing phenomenal.
Yeah, he certainly is. And well, there's a little bit of a race to the bottom rune. It is going to spawn top, so both these players are going to be a little bit disappointed. Meraxis getting cover from his buddy Parasite, and Aluna has bottled up an Invis now. Gives the bottle back to DrDz on Pebbles, and they might be able to set up a good kill with this. But this is what I like, casting Gold Division games. And both these guys, I mean, Gold, Low, Diamond, as they will perhaps find Pharaoh. They're going to pinch Pharaoh right now. Emerald Lightning comes out. He's going to activate the Homecoming Stone. Will be able to escape. Great play having that Homecoming Stone, and is able to get out of there. But that's what I like from these non-Diamond Division games. I mean, Druidz, they are a Diamond team, but they play aggressive. As middle lane power throw goes out, Chuck connects, and last auto attack finishes off Meraxis. Hosa gets turned around on and took a kill home earlier, but now I'm going to be falling, and I'm going to complete my thought. I love the action in this game. These teams are very aggressive. That's all I'm going to say.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, Druidz maining up and going long lane. You know, they're not too scared, and I'm glad they got that kill on Moon Queen, because I felt like this bottom lane was going to be getting out of their control soon. But yeah, with that kill, you know, Moon Queen, he's only at 220 GPM.
Oh, Bat Blast going out up top. Pharaoh going to be in some trouble right here. Where's the Blink? There it is. Sonar Scream finishes him off. At the bottom lane, there's more initiation. Magnus in some trouble. He goes down. And Moon Queen takes a fall as well. DrDz level 5 able to finish that one off. Nice Weed Field. Going to be able to catch Empath, but level 6 Parasite says, Essence Link goes out. The Leech is there as well. Stun onto Myrmidon and auto attacks finish him off. Magikarp not going to save you this time, unless he's going to evolve into a Gyarados. Well, Tubi, he's the Gyarados in this game. The big blue beast picks up some Ghost Marchers in addition to his Mana Ring at 8 minutes in, 366 gold per minute.
Yeah, he's absurdly farmed. He could easily carry this game if he can. I mean, if I was him, if I was farming this well, I'd definitely just go for that Codex. It's kind of a more, I don't know. It seems like the European players when they play Parasite have a bit of a different play style than American players because Codex is really favored in Americans, but they like to go for more utility. You know, maybe get like an early portal key, maybe a health flower or something. But yeah, I mean, he can kill so many heroes if he can get like that early Codex.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the levels. He's got the farm. And looks like Myrmidon's, they thought about it, but no, he was a little too far. So I'm not going to go for him. But
So you do think he's going to go for that Codex? See, I was thinking that he might actually just rush a Hellflower from here after the Ghost Marchers. But you think he's going to split that up and perhaps get a Codex?
I mean, yeah,
I'd like him to, because I feel like he'll just the damage is absurd from Codex. So
That's true.
Port coming out top lane. Parasite can port top. They're gonna go for killing.
They're
Hag.
gonna go for Hag. Right for the Pharaoh. There's the face hug. The Leech is there. Maybe a little bit early on that face hug, and Hag is able to get away for now. Will she be able to have another blink? The Leech is up in another 3 seconds before the blink. Not even needed. Tormented Soul finishes her off. It's in the bottom lane. Moon Queen takes a fall once again, so Druidz evens up the hero kill score and scores a nice kill onto Moon Queen.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about what's going on right now is they keep killing Moon Queen. They killed her 3 times. They just killed Hag, but look at Hag's farm. It's just massive compared to Moon Queen. And Moon Queen can definitely recover. If she can find some space, get that Whispering Helm, get some stacks in the jungle, she can farm very quickly. But it's not a hero like Silhouette. Ooh. Literally coming out middle lane, Max will get his ult off. He's choosing to chase. No, okay, he's not going to chase Pebbles. But yeah, missed time from Pebbles. And unfortunately, I won't get that kill. But yeah, Moon Queen doesn't have as easy a time recovering as, say, like a hero like Silhouette or Draconis. You'll see carry players like, I know Haxerin just, he'll get that slow start. They'll put him in that, kind of the rough lane for him, and he'll just come out with so much gold and farm, with those heroes. And I don't think Moon Queen is quite as good as...
Hag going for the dive up top. Bat Blast comes out. Will she have the Sonar Scream? There she does. Finishes it off. And another good kill onto Never Been Okay. He's now 1-3-1. And 2 levels behind Hag, almost 3. But getting back to what you were saying, you really don't think that Moon Queen can find the farm? I mean, I watched a game of you in the in-house league about maybe a week and a half ago, where Franzi was the captain, and you guys were getting crushed. Franzi was playing Puppet Master, and you guys got crushed in the first 10 minutes of the game, and you actually tried to CC at like 7 minutes in, just saying we forfeit. But then you on Moon Queen completely came back, carried your team on your back, dragging a sack on the ground, just saying, nope, we're winning this. And you soloed their entire team after having a relatively bad start yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I still was getting... I had kind of a free lane, but...
Hag up top. Sorry, she's in some trouble. Doesn't have another blink yet. Will be able to escape a good port there.
No, I mean, you're right, but... I mean, I still had, like, kind of free farm, and... they kind of just threw, like, they dove a tower, and I got so many free kills, and, I had enough gold per minute in my core items to where if they did end the game soon, it was going to get out of hand for them. But, I mean, look at Moon Queen right now. She's at 192 GPM. I mean, it's just not where you want to be.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
I mean, she definitely can, but it's going to require, like, some misplays from their team. Maybe she can get some kills with her ultimate and stuff, but, I think the GPM difference between, say, you want to compare Hag and Moon Queen is pretty substantial right now. So
it certainly is. Hag taking some pressure in the top lane, though, from repeated ganks with the Pharaoh and the Parasite up there. Able to escape this time. And Tubi, even though he's farming real well, still at 324 gold per minute, he is the top farmer on his team, so they really, really want to be able to get him that farm, as he is going to take a Lava Surge here in a second. Does use the Lava Surge, but Magnus is in some trouble. He's going to be able to hit by the Leech. Moon Finale activated. Aluna in some trouble as well. Another auto attack would finish her off, but no, the Magic Carp going to save her for now. Magnus did take the fall in a nice Illusory Veil, making sure that Pebbles wasn't going to be able to chuck anything and maybe get a Stalagmites onto somebody. So another good reaction there from iPel. Grab the kill onto Zlintz, and they take the golden experience lead back with that.
Yeah, I think Hag killed Pharaoh again in the meantime while that was happening.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he's never been okay. He's really struggling this top lane. I think maybe he should
never
just
been
abandon it.
Never been okay. He's never been okay in that top lane where Fabelli's finding 341 gold per minute in farm. And I kind of agree with you. Maybe take to the jungle or something, but right now you're just... That's the 4th kill that he's fed Hag. I believe all of them have been solo. And Fabelli now level 11. He's starting to get kind of scary.
Yeah, those levels are actually pretty huge. He's got that level 2 backblast coming.
Lava Surge in the bottom lane. Channeling the eruption, the Wheatfield comes in, and Moon Queen will be able to get away. Nice Wrath of Pharaoh interrupting the eruption. And, well, Moon Queen activates the power supply. Gonna man up onto Myrmidon. Lava Surge finishes off Moon Queen, though, and Pharaoh also took a fall. It looks like now perhaps there's some more going out right there. Magnus is gonna go down. Stalagmites onto Parasite. Parasite takes the fall. Power Throw comes in with the Chuck. Meraxis in some trouble. Will he be able to escape? He activates the Matrix. Looks like he's gonna be okay for now. Not enough mana on the Hellborn team to finish him off. Not going to be using the Chuck just yet. Now the Chuck's available. He's going to use the Arcane Shield, but down he goes. Hat trick for Fabelli. And wow, Druidz just took a rather substantial lead with a 4 kill there in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it was nice. Fabelli TP down there. Knew he could set up some kills. And, you know, Pharaoh was there, but, you know, Hag is just so far ahead. Level 2 Bat Blast hitting Pharaoh and Moon Queen. They weren't getting away. So, yeah, that was huge. Hat-trick for Fabelli. He is kind of their, you know, the carry on their team. And, you know, right now he's paying them back with all the farm he's got and all the kills he's setting up. So, well played by him.
Yeah, he certainly is. Now, Hag has picked up Apprentice Robe, so is he going to be starting to rush that Hellflower? Is that something you could see being real useful here in this game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's, the standard Hag build is usually, you know, Hellflower, Shrunken Head. Sometimes we'll see people get that early Mighty Blade just for the extra health, which I think could be pretty good this game, considering the amount of damage and disable and nukes they have, or even something like Investment. But he did finish that Arcana, so yeah, definitely going to work towards that Hellflower, then the Shrunken Head.
Oh, Wrath of the Pharaoh right there. Does connect onto Magnus, but he's able to get away. He breaks the Essence Link right on top of a ward right there. There's the face hug. The Leech going to be coming in as well. Magnus able to escape for now. Trying to turn it around as Fabelli's there. Lava Surge onto Parasite, and down goes Tubi. Druidz there, man-moding right now. Nice Illusory Veil. Going to be able to save Pharaoh for now. Empath hops in, and Moon Queen is there. No Moon Finale available. Oh, no, excuse me. The Moon Finale is available as Pebbles is taking some pressure there in the middle lane. And now there's the Lava Surge onto Moon Queen. Not going to be able to get the Moon Finale off. No, maybe she will. Doesn't use it, though. She does take the fall. Magnus going to be TPing on out of there. And Pharaoh takes a Bat Blast. He goes down. Meraxis in the lane now. Empath trying to perhaps set something up, but no. The Legion team not going to be able to score any counter kills. And Druidz just takes down another 3 heroes for nothing.
Yeah, I really feel like Moon Queen should not have left his tower. Because he had his ultimate. If they were to dive him, I mean, if he used the fog properly and cast that ultimate, he could have just, you know, annihilated them. But because he left that and was out in the open and Mag found that stun, I mean, he was screwed. So, yeah, misplay by him for sure. I really think he should have just chilled behind that tower, not played it safer, but unfortunately coming out, and it really cost them.
I completely agree with you. And what makes it even worse is look at the vision that iPel has on the bottom side of this map. They've got a deep lane ward over there, and they've got the vision right above their tower, where they knew the Hellborn team was there, and Moon Queen still came out. So I completely agree with you. A gross misplay right there by Ethne. And his team paid for it. Now down about 4,000 gold in experience. 16 minutes in, it's not insurmountable by any means, and with a Moon Queen, you're happy to make a comeback. She, of course, does have by far the greatest late game potential in this game, but Hag, Fabelli with Big Farm himself, might be okay with trying to go head-to-head against underfarmed Moon Queen.
Oh, yeah, for sure. At this stage, I mean, she's level 13, almost got the Hellflower, pushing up this top lane, and unless there's somebody to respond soon, this tower is going to be falling very shortly. TP does come out, the rocket actually helps, but this tower is very low, and Fabelli may choose to man up on it.
Oh, tries to right there. Meraxis going to man up, though. There's the Quake. Here comes the Axes. The Wrath of the Pharaoh comes in, needs to activate that Meraxis. Matrax. Hag able to escape. There's the Matrax. Nice jukes, though, and Fabelli is able to escape for now. Second Flash of Darkness, she will be able to get away. So even with the rotation, still not able to bring down Hag. The deny is there, though. So It looks like iPel able to get at least something for their time.
Yeah, they got the deny, but I think if they played it better, they could have killed that hag. But unfortunately, didn't get it. We see a lot of Hellborn teams, or excuse me, a lot of the Hellborn players at this bottom lane. And once again, I mean, it's a good job by Electric 6 with all these wards bottom. That's exactly what they needed. Unfortunately, you know, they still got it. Didn't work out for them. But Pebbles, by the way, has picked up his portal key, and he's roaming around looking to set something up. Might just go back middle. Oh, no, he's thinking about it.
He came very close to actually spotting out Parasite outside of a creep right there. There's the initiation. The Essence Link being broken. Illusory Veil is there as well. Myrmidon maybe in some trouble. Combo on Empath, though, and Empath will go down. There's the Lava Surge. Wheatfield, Magic Carp, Eruption, and Moon Queen's going to go down as well. Parasite's there. He activates the Invis on the Wild Hunter, maybe looking for a little bit of a counter kill. Walks right by a Word of Revelation, takes an auto attack for his troubles, and has to fall back. iPel with no response. And Druid's early game lineup, their initiation-heavy lineup, is starting to pay off.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're getting exactly what they wanted. Even without having that great a farm on Pebbles, you know, just getting the portal key, you know, all the stuns and disables and what have you, just damage, especially coming up from Hag in this bottom lane, you know, paid off for them. So maybe iPel should have been a little more careful, like, okay, don't fight, don't fight. You know, they've got a huge advantage. We need our core items, you know, get Moon Queen the farm, get Meraxis, maybe his Blink, but unfortunately it just, you know, didn't work out for them, and they're way behind now.
Yeah, they are 8,000 golden experience here at 19 minutes into the game, getting worse by the minute. Now, what are the things that this iPel team needs to do to get back into this game? Their signs of life are still there on Parasite. Meraxis is still farming decent. But how do they get this Moon Queen back into a state where she's going to be able to take them to the late game and possibly win?
Well, they, you know, like I said, they've been taking these fights, and I think they're so far behind now that it's going to be hard for them to take these fights, especially with Magnus, you know, going to have his Blink Dagger soon. Pebbles already having his. Richard Hagen's Hellflower, and they don't really have those core items. So I think what they need to do is just avoid them. You know, maybe try and counter push when Druidz is pushing. You know, get up some defensive wards and, you know, play carefully. And just, you know, I think they need to avoid fighting and just try and get their core items up before they can even think about trying to engage them again.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, they've been defending that bottom lane for so long as the creep wave's pushing back onto it once again. Looks like they might have to abandon that eventually, as Wretched Hag is there. We'll be able to kill this Empath very easily if the belly wants to man up. As, what? A sick rocket snipe right there. Never been okay. Bringing down Pew in the fountain. What did Pew take so much damage from?
They were killing Ancients. Him and Magnus and I believe one other player were tanking the Ancients.
Wow.
But I don't think, unless he already rocketed the Ancients before, I don't know how he knew there'd be someone low. But Hag's going to jump on Pharaoh here. That Hellfire, there comes the Bat Blast, Sonar Scream, and yeah, free kill. Very easy. Almost double his level, by the way. Level 15.
Yeah, that's an issue. As there's the Stalagmites. Chuck going to be on the Moon Queen right there, and double damage auto attack finishes him off. The Leech, the Codex, the Face Hug comes out onto Pebbles, and he'll go down. So Tubi able to get 2 levels, or 1 level right there off of the counter kill, and avenge his fallen Moon Queen sister, but still losing your Moon Queen is not something you want to do. You got to be able to protect the farm. And Druidz is just not scared.
Yeah, I think that was a good trade, to be honest. Even though Pebbles, you know, Moon Queen's so far behind, but just, you know, continuing to make it even worse, I think is fine. Pebbles will probably take that. Even though, you know, he's got pretty good farm. I mean, as long as Moon Queen doesn't get anything and Hag continues to farm and get kills, then, you know, I don't think they have a chance.
Man, yeah, Fabelli, I mean, level 16 right now at 21 minutes into the game. She's just going to be absolutely destroying kids, as a pause does come out here, so hopefully not going to be anything too serious. But Druidz, they're able to finish up some big items. The Hag gets the Hellflower. She's got another 2,000 gold saved up, so going to be about halfway to that Shrunken Head, if that's what she chooses to go. You think that's going to be her next choice here?
Yeah, I mean, it's the standard item. I mean, look at the Legion team. Shrunken Head is very powerful against them. And with that, she'll have free reign. I feel like she already has free reign to do almost whatever she wants, barring, you know, gross misplay or miscalculation. She might die. But with Shrunken Head and, you know, 0 physical damage on the Legion team, I don't see what they could possibly do about her.
So that's probably going to be her next pickup. Level 12 Pebbles, not super far ahead in terms of levels, equal with Meraxis, and a little bit behind Parasite, actually, as a result of a couple deaths, perhaps. But does have that portal key, picks up a Mighty Blade of his own, so probably going to be looking for a Shrunken Head there. DrDz level 5, not going with that Codex, instead picks up a staff of, push staff, a tablet of command. I was going to call it the correct name, and then my brain was like, nope, you got to call it a staff of something. And
Force staff?
Come on, scumbag brain. Codex, on the other hand, though, has been picked up by Parasite, picks up some Ghost Marchers afterward. And so now he's going to be able to perhaps pick some people off just a little bit easier, as maybe in the middle lane, Parasite in some trouble. No, they're not going to initiate on him just yet. And Pharaoh will be just fine. The Hellborn team looking like they want to kill something, but not quite sure what they want just yet.
Yeah, Meraxis did pick up his Blink, so that's pretty good for him. His farm isn't... I mean, this farm is actually pretty decent, to be honest. 264, when they're this far behind, is definitely solid, so well played by him. By the way, Hag did pick up a Blessed Orb, so whether that be a Sheepstick or a Nullstone, I think either one is fine. I think BKB or Shrunken Head is the best, but to be honest, she's this far ahead. I don't have any problems with her getting either.
Yeah.
I mean, Parasite is kind of the only one doing well on the Legion team, so if you get that Nullstone against him, it makes it much more difficult to pick you off. Or
get rid of the Face Hug, get rid of the Essence Link, get rid of the Moonbeam.
Yeah,
Nullstone could be very nice, but having a second CC item to go with your Hellflower, I mean, you can, if you catch somebody out by yourself as Hag at that point, you can kill anybody on the other team, even the Meraxis. You should be able to easily kill. Might not even need your Bat Blast for most of those players. So I would definitely agree with either of those items at this point. We'll see which it might be as the Hellfire goes out onto Meraxis up top. There's the Haunt as well. Luna's going to get in there. There's the combo onto him as well, not even needing the Chuck. Just the Stalagmites and a champion of Newer streak for Fabelli. Now 470 gold per minute. 10, 1, and 3. He's rocking this game.
Yeah, I think... I don't know if iPel can really come back from this. Moon Queen's still sitting at 160 GPM. And, ooh, Magnus, nice blink away. Right as Minotaur was right next to him and the Parasite was in, so good escape by him. Magnus did try and go for a solo kill on Moon Queen in the bottom lane with his ultimate, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough.
Really?
And, yeah, it was right as they were killing Meraxis.
Yeah, it must have been when he was still level 10, because a level 2 ultimate should have been able to bring down Moon Queen, I would think. She didn't even have to use her power supply, it doesn't look like, so not quite sure what happened there. But top lane taking a lot of pressure. The vision is there for the Legion team, although Pew drops a Ward of Revelation, and they're going to be able to clean that one up a little bit. Actually, that's a Ward of Revelation for both teams. So neither team has the vision there. And now Pebbles might be in a little bit of trouble. He does not have a portal key for another, well, as long as he's being attacked for a long time. Parasite's there. Face Hug comes in. The Leech. Where's the Codex? Not using that just yet. Now he's going to steal the kill. Tubi says, kill secured, boss. And is able to get that one. So there you go. iPel picking off some of the important players. And Pebbles still level 13. Not able to find his farm and his level since he's picked up that portal key quite a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's done fairly well, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because Fabelli is just taking over this game by himself.
Oh, Lava Surge in the middle lane. Pharaoh perhaps in some trouble. Uses the Wrath of the Pharaoh onto Magnus. The counter ward goes down. There's the Leech. Codex not available just yet. The Quake goes out, not even needing the Codex. And Pharaoh will be able to escape. Myrmidon perhaps in some trouble herself. Fabelli's in location, though. Will she be going in for a kill? Not going to be just yet. Wants to back off, see if she can pick off one player rather than having to get involved in a team fight. But iPel sticks together, and that's another big pick-off on a Magnus right there.
Yeah, they've been finding some kills. Meraxis is kind of roaming around. Him and Parasite can kill pretty easily. So, yeah, Meraxis is doing surprisingly well. Level 14, 250 GPM. I mean, well played by him for, you know, the position his team is in. So, him and Parasite have been doing quite well.
Yeah, they have been doing very well indeed. So, you know, they've narrowed up the gold lead a little bit. It was above 10,000 very briefly, and they've narrowed up the experience lead by about 4,000. So perhaps getting back into this, or maybe perhaps Druidz just being caught out of position a little bit. as they finish up their next wave of items. And I think once Fabelli gets involved in these team fights, they should still be in a very good position in this game. And Parasite choosing to level up that Codex, goes for Codex 3. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's usually my preferred route on Parasite. You know, getting that portal key can be pretty good, but you know, I think it's fine. Maybe they'll be able to actually kill Hag if you know, he levels up that Codex, because you know it still does a substantial amount of damage. No Vestment or Shrunken Head on Hag. You know, maybe they can take her down if she's out of position and gets caught by, you know, Mirax's Sun and like a Moonbeam and you know, the combo from Parasite. They can definitely kill her. She's not invincible, but yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay, so they're going to be just slow pushing the tower for now. Luna getting close to finishing up that Astrolabe, but Parasite will infest a creep. Just doing some denying with being in that creep. I don't know what the real purpose of being in there right now is. I guess buying himself a little bit of leeway, not going to be able to be jumped, as Magnus might look to channel up that Eruption relatively soon, hiding off in the side over here. But no, not going to go in just yet. Both teams, just a lot of posturing as Tormented Souls are scouting out and harassing the Hellborn team.
Yeah, Magnus is, if they can find...
Oh, they're going to try to find it right there. Stalagmites miss. The Chuck goes on to Miraxis, though. Wheatfield going to be going out. Misses. There's the Bat Blast. Eruption going to be coming in. Not really hitting too much of anybody. Lava Surge back on the Miraxis. They're still trying to target him down. Wrath of the Pharaoh on to Myrmidon. He's perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Magnus will take the fall into front lines. Myrmidon will, in fact, fall right there. Wheatfield not connecting once again. And now the Moonbeam onto Hag. She's going to try to get out of there. Pebble's going to be able to take down Pharaoh, but he'll fall. Power Throw connects onto Miraxis. And iPel, they lose the tower, they lose Pharaoh, but connecting with Myrmidon, Pebbles, and Magnus, that was a great fight for them.
Yeah, I think it was a poor fight from Druidz as well.
Yeah.
Some you know, Pebbles missed his initiation, and then Miraxis got his ultimate off before Hag Hellflowered him, so I feel like both of those, you know, Pebbles was kind of worthless. The Hellflower didn't really do anything as well. And then Magnus with a pretty, you know, not a very effective Eruption. He was kind of close to two kind of the semi-squishy heroes, but he didn't really have a line to stun them, and there wasn't really any follow-up, so he kind of died shortly after. So, yeah, I mean, you know, Moon Queen is also a hero. If you have a fair initiation and dive like that, she can definitely, even without any items, she just blasts her ultimate off, can do considerable damage. So, you know, I don't know if that's necessarily signs of life for iPel. I still think they're probably, you know, behind. Parasite can get
Parasite, yeah. Lava Surge goes in, Wheatfield connects, and down goes Tubi, so Codex not going to save you in that situation, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty big now, because he was honestly the one doing the best of their team, but after that, it looks like they just head straight to Kongor. Yeah, they don't really have much of a team with Kongor, but they can just stunlock it, I guess. And,
yep, they can, but Tormented Soul does scout it out, and can the Legion team do anything about this? Moon Queen with her ultimate down, she's still farming the top lane, and Miraxis with his portal key, and Pharaoh with Wrath of the Pharaoh. They have a lot of stun potential there, but not going to be able to do enough damage or try to contend. So Concord will be going down. Yeah, there it goes, and Fabelli picks it up after finishing up his Nullstone with that Token of Life now. Fabelli is just so scary. I'm not even playing in the game, and I'm scared of him.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Nullstone is fine. And yeah, you're right. The Legion team really couldn't fight. They need their Parasite. They need that Moon Queen ult as well. It's just free damage, basically. And without those, I mean, I don't think they have any chance of engaging in a fight. So, yeah, well played by Druidz. They got that pick off, immediately ran to Kong, and now they've got a token on their Hag, who already seems like she's almost impossible to kill. So,
yeah. Speaking of impossible to kill, though, they really have sunk all their what is it? They put all their chickens in one basket. Is that the saying? I think that's right. I'm bad at using sayings. If they are somehow able to segregate Wretched Hag from the fight, make sure that she's not able to get involved, I think the iPel team might be able to take some of these team fights, because look at the GPM here on Pebbles, on Magnus. Look at the levels. They're just not that great. Everything they have is on Hag. So if they can get a pick and then start a push while she's down and there's no buyback, iPel may very well be able to get back into this game.
No, yeah, I agree. If they can initiate on Hag, you know, they don't necessarily have to kill her just to make her blink out of the fight and be scared to really do anything. Um, you know, as long as she's too scared to come back to get her spells off, yeah, they could definitely win a team fight. But with that token now, and then you know, with some counter initiation potential from a hero like say Magnus, you know, chaining that eruption while baiting his teammates, he can, you know, easily take out a grouped up.
Yeah, and now an Invis Pebbles, so a good team fight, unlikely. They're going to find Empath way out of position right here. Electric 6 has done a fantastic job warding all game, but yeah, getting caught out of position right there, dying to get that ward down.
Yeah, he actually, I was pretty impressed when he pointed out how much vision they had in that bottom lane, which was exactly what they needed. Those 2 wards provided so much vision and information, but you know, at this point, there's not so much he can do by himself. And I think the Hellborn team, if they just invested in a gem, counter all the wards, you know, just will have complete free reign over this game.
Yeah, I agree. And now Druidz, they're looking to push down this last remaining outer tower. Going to be trading mid for it most likely, as Aluna actually perhaps going to be trying to go over there and set up a counter kill in the mid lane. If they can get a flank, that could be great, but they walk right by a ward. So Moon Queen finally does finish up that shrunken head, and now the Druidz team going to be recentering on the bottom tower. Perhaps iPel looking to start a fight. Everyone's in position except for Parasite, who does have a homecoming stone available.
Yeah, and unfortunately, yeah, they were too scared to take that middle tower. The, you know, TP and blink catch potential was too much, and
Yeah.
I don't really blame them. They probably would have died. So yeah, they can't even counter push. It's pretty brutal to be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of push, I mean, iPel has not taken a tower all game. All 6 are still up here at 33 minutes into the game. That's how good Druidz has been at being aggressive throughout the entirety of this game, making sure iPel is just not ever allowed on their side. Has an iPel player other than Parasite actually crossed the river this game? Like, Parasite's farmed the one close camp up in the top, but other than that,
I think Maraxus died in the top lane when he was kind of close to the tower.
Maybe, but
that's about it, though.
Yeah, iPel, of course, just being very, very restricted to their own side of the map, and you got to give props to Druidz there.
Yep, that's exactly what they need to do. I'd like to see them just pick up a gem, and iPel will have a tough time having any vision. They'll be scared to leave their base. They can't farm anything. You know, they've got, what do they have, 1 ward? Yeah, they've got that ward bottom. I think that's all the Legion has, and to be honest, I can hardly blame them, because it's hard to leave your base at this point with all these blinks and you know, lack of farm on your supports and your carries. You know, it's just kind of scary to leave your base because, you know, you don't know where they are. So yeah, the gym would, you know, probably secure this game. Fabelli just picked up I believe he just bought, I don't know if he sold it, an ice brand, so maybe working towards a frost.
It's being delivered right now.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so, and Shrunken Head on Pebbles, so
yeah,
they've got the token. Yeah, I think they just say, okay, let's just go mid. We can definitely in this game.
And 2 minutes left on that token, so that's typically the time that you see them start pushing in. So that is where they'll be. All outer towers are pushed down, so even if they don't go for the killing blow right here, they will be able to resource manage their opponents very effectively, taking their opponent's jungle, doing the the Lions eSports strat of waiting till they have token of life and 2 cheeses before they actually try to push.
Yeah.
Or bananas, excuse me.
Yep. But yeah, Legion doesn't have a whole lot of counter push as well, so.
Oh, combo on the Moon Queen right there. She's not going to be able to hit the Shrunken Head in time, and she will go down. No buyback available. Magnus in trouble. Bat Blast goes out, and down goes Pharaoh as well. Parasite trying to TP on out. Not going to be able to. He goes down. Marax is able to get the counter kill onto Magnus, but there's the sheep right there. It looked like onto who the hell was that? Empath just died. I can't tell what's going on top of snow. It's so hard with the teal hero right there. Couldn't even see him. But 4 players down, and iPel, this is probably going to be it. As Wretched Hag taking the tower, she's probably just going to want to trade this token right here. The Quake goes out, and Hag will go down. Rax is sacrificing his life for it, though. He's definitely going to die, and iPel, expect to see the GGs any moment, as Druidz just, they took off with this game.
They really did. It was all about those fights bottom, and Actually, you know what? It wasn't all about the fights bottom. I think it was top lane. Hag just dominating that Pharaoh so hard, and then yeah, all the fights bottom lane just really went their way, and you know that was enough to carry them the rest of the game.
It certainly did. So iPel, and they were able to take top 6 last time, but in this best-of-1 series, they were not able to contend with the Diamond team here. Pew's Druidz, they're able to take the win in about 35 minutes. Ended with a very big lead right there. And Fabelli, I mean, MVP's got to go to him. He just did fantastic in that short lane. He was able to secure kills when he needed to, and then in the end, just able to farm out his heart. So not bad, not bad. Riser, that's going to do it for this series. Just a best-of-1 series. DrDz, they're going to be going on to the round of 16 tomorrow. So we'll maybe be looking to cover them once again with more Sound Blaster Hero coverage tomorrow. But Riser, any shout-outs before we go to a quick break?
Yeah, I guess shout out to Fabelli. Yeah, like you said, played an excellent game, and to Sound Blaster for their tournament, just allowing all sorts of teams to play competitively. So shout out to them.
All right. Well, Riser, I need to give a shout out to you. Thank you very much for joining me today for coLcast Presents Streamcast and Sound Blaster Heroes League. So big shout out to you. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be going into a gold matchup. It's going to be QSQ777 versus Seeking Perfection. Should be an awesome best-of-3 series starting up in about 10 minutes here. But Riser, unless it's a public game, unfortunately, you won't be able to join me. So I think your time is going to be ending here. So once again, thank you very much. And, well, big shout out to Fabelli and everybody else. Of course, to DrDz and iPel for putting up a very good match today. And Riser, hope to be able to cast it with you again very soon.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
All right, we'll catch you later, man.
See ya.
So, guys, that does it for Riser. As I mentioned, though, we are going to be going into a Gold League Contour match here, and scheduled to start in 6 minutes, actually. Probably going to be about 10 minutes out. I will be checking in momentarily. So, before we do, though, I do have to give a very big shout-out to Sound Blaster for their involvement here in the Sound Blaster Heroes League. Also to Heroes of Newerth and Newegg for also helping to sponsor it. And so make sure to check out Sound Blaster at facebook.com/SoundBlaster and Twitter at SoundBlasterLive. And I actually think I'm going to debut something for you guys really quick right here. I've been meaning, I got this a while ago. Let's take a look here.
Guys,
Here we
I'm
go.
pulling aggro. Heal! Heal! We got this! We got this!
No!
Oh. Ah!
Okay, I've never done this before, guys, so hold on. I gotta do a couple things, get rid of that. Bear with me. We're gonna get better at this over time.
Guys, I'm pulling aggro. Heal! Heal! We got this! We got this!
No!
Oh. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Stop beating your hardware. Head to newegg.com for an upgrade. And for more tech videos, check out our Newegg YouTube channel.
So there you go, guys. Newegg.com. Take it from a geek. Big shout out to them for helping to sponsor the Sound Blaster Heroes League. So I've got some commercials that I'm going to be playing from them from time to time. But once again, soundblaster.com, facebook.com/soundblaster, and Twitter at SoundBlaster. Make sure to check them out and give them a follow, give them a like, leave a comment, let them know that you love their involvement in Heroes of Newerth and you love that they're sponsoring an event. And of course, to Complexity Gaming for allowing coLcast to be here and for allowing me to cover this event. You can check them out over at complexitygaming.com. Guys, gonna go to a break. I'll let you know right when I do when this game's gonna be started. Scheduled for 10 minutes or 5 minutes from now, but we'll be getting into it ASAP. No more than about 20 minutes away, I wouldn't think, but I'll let you know right away. Stay tuned right here, twitch.tv/complexityhon, coLcast with Beef. We'll be right back.